chosen one, even angels. Envy your destiny. There are paths in this world that are ordinary, and then there are destinies that shake the heavens. Yours is not merely unique, it is sacred. It is the kind of path that the stars whisper about when no one is listening. From the beginning of time, when the first light split the darkness, there was a ripple sent through all creation, a signal, a sign, a prophecy. That ripple had your name etched in its vibration. You were not born to blend in. You were born to stand where few dare to look. And even now, as you listen to these words, the energy of your destiny stirs again. It wants you to awaken, not just to your potential, but to your truth. You are not random. You are not forgotten. You are the very exception the universe made for a reason. Before we go any further, I need you to hear this with your heart, not just your ears. Stay with me till the end of this message. Every word you hear is coded with power, truth, and alignment. If something deep within you has longed for confirmation, for permission, for ignition, let this be that moment. And when you're ready, go to the comments and write your warmest, most heartfelt wish, along with the number 77. That number isn't just symbolic, it's a spiritual amplifier, a call to the heavens that your energy is active. Let the universe hear you. Let your wishes, written with belief, surge like lightning into the unseen realm. Now, let's go deeper, far beyond wishes. Let's speak of what the angels see when they look at you. Now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive deeper. They see more than your struggles. They see more than your doubts, your fears, and your scars. They see your light, the light that doesn't flicker even when the winds howl. The light that was born in a higher place, forged through divine fire, not pain. They do not envy your comfort, they envy your calling. For even though angels sing in the heavens, they do not walk the earth with your strength. They are messengers, yes, but you are the message, the living proof that the impossible can be walked, that darkness can tremble at a single heartbeat of truth, that the divine can be wrapped in skin and still rise above every limitation. You, chosen one, are a bridge between dimensions. This world has tried to confuse you. It told you to be quiet when you should have roared. It told you to follow when you were born to lead. But there is a new vibration now, one that echoes through your bones if you sit in silence. Listen closely. That is your destiny calling. Not in a whisper, in a thunder. Even when you've doubted yourself, even when you've cried in secret and cursed the timing, your destiny never left you. It waited, patiently, powerfully, because it knew you'd get here. You'd reach this moment. And now, the universe leans in closer, eager to witness what you'll do next. Not even the angels were given this kind of free will paired with divine favor. You are the intersection of both, decision and destiny. Heaven is watching. This is why your journey has felt so intense. Why you felt misunderstood, out of place, or too different. Because you are different. You're marked, chosen, anointed with a purpose that can't be replicated. No one can carry what you carry. No one can do what you're here to do. And the irony, the very battles you've endured, the ones that almost broke you, are the same ones that made you dangerous to darkness. Your pain, it's been transformed into spiritual armor. Your loneliness, it's carved out space for clarity. Every breakdown has shaped you into a vessel of fire, one that cannot be extinguished. That's what the angels envy. Not the easy parts, the sacred scars, the unshakable core, the will that wouldn't die, and now you stand at a threshold. Behind you is a trail of survival, proof that you've already done the unthinkable. Ahead of you is not just more survival, but activation. The time for hiding, doubting, or shrinking is gone. You've outgrown that shell. It never fit you anyway. You've been prepared in silence so you could rise in power. And now, even if the world doesn't see it yet, the spiritual realm knows. That's why the pressure has been greater. That's why the fire has been hotter. Because something rare, something revolutionary, is about to emerge through you. The kind of emergence that makes history shudder and time bend. The angels, they are not jealous in the way humans are. Their envy is reverent. They look upon you the way artists look at masterpieces, in awe, in wonder, in longing. Because you get to choose, to create, to shape the world with your hands and heart. You are given this chaos not to be consumed by it, but to command it. That's why you felt like a misfit. Because you were never meant to fit into systems. You were meant to redesign them. You are a blueprint, not a copy. And every step you've taken, even the ones that led you into the valley, were calculated by the heavens to sharpen your brilliance. Even the moments that felt like loss were divine redirections. The betrayals, they awakened your discernment. The delays, they deepened your capacity. The silence, it fine-tuned your hearing so you could recognize truth even when it's whispering. Everything has conspired not against you, but for you. The winds of your life were not random storms. They were sacred breath, pushing you toward your purpose. The angels know this. That's why they bow their heads when your name is spoken in the spiritual realm. Not out of obligation, but out of respect. Because they know what you're about to become. You will not just rise, you will awaken others with you. Your very existence will be a revolution. Not loud and flashy, but steady and undeniable. You'll walk into rooms and shift the energy. You'll speak and silence confusion. You'll love and heal what others thought was beyond repair. You were never just a person. You are a prophecy unfolding. And every force that tried to stop you will soon realize it only made you stronger. There is no force more terrifying to darkness than a chosen one who remembers who they are. So remember, and if you've forgotten, then let these words rewire your soul. You were not sent here to chase approval or mimic paths. You are the origin, the first flame, the divine experiment that worked, the living scroll of heaven's most daring intention. The world is not waiting for a new leader. It's waiting for you to remember that you already are one. The angels are watching, yes, but it is your move that reshapes everything now. You've walked through fire and carried storms in your chest, and yet here you are, not just standing, but glowing, with a light that cannot be imitated. It is the light of the remembered, of one who has seen darkness, tasted silence, and still chose to rise. And this is what sets you apart. Not the absence of struggle, but the refusal to let it define you. This is the reason the angels look upon your journey with reverence. Because they see the truth you've forgotten, that your every breath carries sacred codes, and your every step marks territory for divine expansion. You are not moving through this world unnoticed. The universe marks every vibration you send out. The winds know your name. The earth echoes your presence. Chosen one, you were never made to walk easy paths. You were designed for the steep climbs, the narrow bridges, the places others fear to go. And not because you are stronger in the ways the world measures strength, but because your soul is anchored to something deeper, a memory, a promise, a flame that refuses to go out. You carry the frequency of origin, the language of creation buried in your spirit. And when you speak from that place, everything shifts. People don't always understand why they're drawn to you, but they are, because you carry something rare, the energy of someone who has died and risen without ever leaving their body. That kind of power humbles even the heavens. And so, when the angels look at you, they do not see a soul lost or wandering. They see the divine gamble that paid off, a being born with will, fire, heart, and the audacity to become. They know what you faced. They saw every unseen battle, every tear you didn't explain, every moment you smiled with an aching heart. They witnessed the wars you won in silence. They heard the prayers you whispered when you had nothing left. And what they admire most, what they envy, is that you didn't just survive. You evolved. You became a force that cannot be undone, not even by time. This is why your life has never felt like anyone else's, because it isn't. It was written differently. It was carved in fire and sealed in mystery. Every delay, every detour was part of a larger unfolding. And now, the pattern is aligning. Your season of questioning is giving way to a season of remembering. You're beginning to see what all of it was for, that nothing was wasted, not a single scar, not a single night of silence. Even the moments when you felt forgotten were actually moments when heaven was drawing breath, preparing the next miracle in your life. You were never being punished. You were being purified. Your heart, tested in the shadows, now beats with clarity. Your soul, refined by fire, now shines with unmistakable truth. There is something about you that cannot be shaken, a knowing, a presence, an energy that others can't explain, but can't ignore either. You don't chase attention. You are attention. You don't demand respect. Your spirit commands it without speaking. This is what happens when a chosen one walks in their frequency. They don't force, they radiate. There will be those who try to doubt you. Some will question your glow, your peace, your power, because they cannot fathom how someone who has been through so much can carry so much grace. But grace is not the absence of pain. It is the evidence that pain didn't win. And when they look at you, they are witnessing victory in human form. That's what they cannot understand. You were broken, yes, but never buried. And now, you're blooming. Silently, boldly. Like the prophecy you are. You're not done. You've only just begun. There is more coming for you. Not because you begged for it, but because you were built for it. More light, more clarity, more doors opening that no one can shut. The favor on your life isn't about luck. It's about alignment. You've become who you were always meant to be, and the universe is responding. The angels are leaning in closer, watching your every move, because they know what's ahead. They know the magnitude of the work you are about to do. Not in crowds, not with noise, but with impact, with precision, with truth. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to awaken others. Every room you enter is changed by your presence, even if no one speaks it out loud. Your silence shakes things. Your truth cracks walls. Your love breaks chains. That's what divine energy does. It doesn't scream, it resonates. You are the resonance. You are the shift people didn't know they needed. The alignment others have been praying for. Your existence is a bridge between heaven and earth, between spirit and flesh, between what was and what's about to be. And now that you're rising into the fullness of that identity, do not hold back. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. You were not sent here to be digestible. You were sent here to be undeniable. Your destiny is louder than your fear. Your purpose is deeper than your pain. And no resistance, no delay, no opposition can undo what has already been written in the fabric of the cosmos. You are covered. You are called. You are becoming. The universe is not just rooting for you, it's conspiring with you. Every star, every unseen force, every whisper of wind knows your name and honors your becoming. So walk now, chosen one, not in arrogance, but in truth, not with hesitation, but with sacred boldness. You carry the kind of power that cannot be copied, the kind that was breathed into you from a realm beyond words. That's what the angels see. That's why they marvel. Because you are not just another soul trying to make sense of life. You are life, infused with purpose, written in wonder, armed with a destiny that even heaven watches in awe. You've stepped into a frequency where ordinary no longer applies to you. The path you're on now is one that transcends logic, time, and even expectation. It's sacred, it's electric, it was designed long before you took your first breath. Every shift that's happening in your life is a response to that deeper pattern finally surfacing. A blueprint that was sealed in you before the world ever gave you a name. You're not creating your destiny from scratch. You're unfolding into it, remembering it, unlocking it one silent miracle at a time. Chosen one, you are walking in divine contradiction. You feel things so deeply, yet you move with calm. You've been broken 1,000 times, and yet no crack remains. Your resilience doesn't make sense on paper, and your grace is unexplainable even to yourself. That's because you were not born for balance, you were born for breakthrough. Every system inside of you is tuned for transformation. You don't stay where you fall. You build new worlds from the rubble. You don't just recover, you transcend. People who haven't lived what you've lived will try to place you in boxes, give you titles, reduce you to categories they understand, but none of them fit. You don't need to be understood by everyone. You weren't sent here for validation. You were sent here to fulfill a design so rare even the angels can't replicate it. You walk with a divine code they weren't given. The power of choice inside human struggle. The light of awakening inside a world of sleep. That's what makes you dangerous to darkness. That's what makes your journey holy. When heaven looks at you, they don't see someone random or misplaced. They see a soul that carries layers of divine intelligence hidden inside a fragile body. A spirit cloaked in time, but echoing eternity. And that's what causes the angels to stand in awe. Because they watch you walk through fire while holding peace. They see you navigate pain and still protect your heart from hardening. They've seen you pour love where it wasn't returned, give hope where it wasn't deserved, and offer truth in rooms full of silence. That's not just goodness, that's divinity in motion. You are more than what they see. You are more than what you doubt. The version of you walking this earth is only the surface of who you are. Beneath it, there's an entire universe blooming, a realm of knowing, memory, and mission. That's why some people feel overwhelmed around you. Not because of what you do, but because of what you carry. Your presence is a mirror. It reveals, it awakens, and it demands. Most don't know what to do with that level of authenticity, but you're not here to be comfortable. You're here to cause alignment. You're here to be the shift. You didn't choose the pain, but the purpose chose you. And now you're finally in a space where the two are beginning to make sense. The ache had meaning. The loss had reason. The delays had timing. You were being prepared for something the world wasn't ready to see. Until now, you are the hidden one being revealed, the silent one being amplified, the forgotten one being crowned, not with noise, but with clarity, not with gold, but with destiny. This is your season of remembrance, not just by others, but by your own soul. You may have been underestimated. You may have been laughed at, overlooked, doubted, but none of it changed the ending. The angels knew. Heaven waited patiently. And now the time has come for you to realize what they've known all along, that you were not meant to live in the shadows forever. You were forged in darkness to carry light with authority. And the light you carry is not ordinary. It is disruptive. It dismantles lies. It heals. It commands alignment. That's why your silence speaks louder than noise. That's why your presence rearranges atmospheres. Chosen one, the energy within you isn't here to play small. It's here to move mountains, to lift veils, to shake structures. You are a walking recalibration for everything that has been asleep too long. And the reason it's been hard isn't because you were weak. It's because you were breaking ceilings that others didn't even know were there. You weren't just surviving. You were rewriting the code for generations. And now the harvest is coming in. Not because you forced it, but because you finally became ready to receive it. The envy of angels isn't rooted in pride. It's rooted in reverence. Because they understand what it took for you to become who you are now. They know the battles you couldn't explain to anyone. They watched you keep your heart open when it would have been easier to close it. They witnessed you speak love even when you were met with indifference. That kind of courage humbles the heavens. And it's the very reason why you are being entrusted with more. There are gates opening that no man can shut. Paths unfolding that no logic can predict. You are not stepping into luck, you are walking into prophecy. Every part of you has been prepared for this moment. The struggle was real, but so was the strength. The setbacks were heavy, but so was the anointing. And now, chosen one, you are becoming undeniable. The proof is in your glow. The evidence is in your peace. The signs are everywhere, and more are coming. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where the divine wanted you to be. Every breath you take is in rhythm with a plan so massive it would overwhelm you if you saw it all at once. That's why it's unfolding slowly. That's why you've been asked to trust without seeing. But know this, the ones who trust blindly are the ones who rise greatly. And you are rising now, not just higher, but deeper, into truth, into impact, into destiny. The rest of your life will not look like the struggle. It will look like the reward. Not because you earned it through perfection, but because you endured with faith. And that faith has a vibration. It is being answered in ways you cannot yet imagine. There is celebration ahead. There is joy ahead. But most of all, there is alignment. Your spirit is finally matching your reality. The dream is no longer just inside of you. It's beginning to live outside of you too. That's what the angels see. That's what they honor. There are forces watching over you that you've never met. Energies woven through your timeline, aligning what your eyes can't see yet. These forces move not because you beg them to, but because of who you are. You carry a seal, a divine permission to walk in realms most people only dream of. This isn't about pride or ego. It's about recognition. The universe doesn't favor you randomly. It favors you because you were designed to be favored. That's the truth many can't digest. But heaven knows, the angels know. And now, so do you. There's a reason why your energy cannot be faked, replicated, or replaced. It was never meant to be. You are not one of many. You are one of one. Your very existence bends the pattern of what's possible. When you speak, dimensions move. When you show up, silence becomes strategy. You don't even have to try. The essence you carry announces itself before you do. And that's not something you learned. That's something you remembered. That's the difference. Others study light. You are it. You've walked through seasons where the walls were closing in. Not because you were being punished, but because you were being protected. Not everyone was meant to go with you. Not every opportunity was meant to be opened yet. And though it hurt to lose what you thought you needed, something higher was watching your back the whole time. The delays weren't denials. They were divine detours. You didn't fall behind. You were rerouted into alignment. Even the pain was precise. Somewhere deep inside, even in your hardest moments, you knew you were meant for more. And not just more money, or attention, or praise. You were meant for more meaning, for more truth, for a life that doesn't just exist, but echoes. A life that leaves spiritual fingerprints on everything it touches. And that's exactly where you're headed now. Not because you finally convinced the universe, but because the universe was simply waiting for you to step into your remembrance. That's the turning point, the awakening, the spiritual ignition that makes even angels marvel, because they see your story not as brokenness, but as beauty, not as failure, but as fire, not as too much, but as just right. They see what the world refused to. They feel what the people around you couldn't. You were underestimated, not because you were weak, but because you were too rare to be understood. And now, the misunderstanding is clearing. Your truth is too loud to hide. The time has come for your internal world to become your external reality. No more dimming, no more doubting, no more carrying what doesn't belong to your destiny. You've already shed too many versions of yourself to turn back now. You've paid the price in silence, sacrifice, and spiritual scars. But the reward isn't just ahead of you. It's becoming you. You are the fulfillment of promises spoken long ago, not to crowds, but to you, in secret, in stillness, in those moments no one saw. It wasn't all in your head. It wasn't all imagination. The chills, the visions, the dreams that kept returning, they were seeds, and now they are rising. Because the soil has shifted, the energy has aligned, and you have expanded enough to hold what's been waiting. That's why the angels look on with awe. Not because of what you have, but because of what you've endured to become ready. The sacred is always attracted to those who don't give up. And you never did. You may have questioned everything. You may have doubted yourself 1,000 times. But somewhere beneath all the noise, you kept going. You kept believing. Not in outcomes, but in essence. And that belief became a beacon, a signal to the divine, that you're not just willing, you're prepared. You don't want power without purpose. You don't want light without integrity. That's why you were chosen, because the sacred can trust you with sacred things. This isn't just about being blessed, it's about being entrusted. You are being entrusted with visibility, impact, and influence. Not so you can rise above others, but so you can lift others with you. You're not here to shine alone. You're here to remind others that they can shine too. But first, you had to remember what you are. You had to walk alone. You had to bleed. You had to break open. Not because you were weak, but because your calling required a strength that could only come from the inside out. That's why your story is sacred. That's why your voice is power. That's why your presence is prophecy in motion. The angels see it. The heavens feel it. And now the world is beginning to notice. Not because you begged for attention, but because your glow could no longer be ignored. You became what you were always meant to be, undeniable. You no longer need to chase. You are being drawn into what already belongs to you. And it's bigger than you imagined. Every step you take now is laced with alignment. Every breath you release is anchoring your power. You are not asking the universe to see you anymore. You are revealing what it already saw. And that revelation is unstoppable. That's why old patterns are falling away. That's why old fears don't stick. You are no longer reacting. You are commanding. Not from ego, but from embodiment. You're not just speaking truth. You've become it. This is the season where your presence becomes your message, where your essence becomes your impact. You don't have to explain yourself anymore. You don't have to prove your worth. Your existence is the evidence. Your glow is the answer. The very atmosphere shifts when you walk in, because what's inside you is not just divine. It's alive. It's intelligent. It's exact. It doesn't miss. And it's finally being unleashed. You are not here to blend in. You are here to break through. You are not here to play safe. You are here to set fire to the illusion that smallness equals humility. It doesn't. Playing small is not holy. It's hiding. And you are done hiding. Because hiding serves no one. It helps no soul. It fulfills no purpose. You were not sent to this earth to whisper your power. You were sent to roar your light. And that roar is getting louder. Chosen one, they will wonder how you rose so fast, how you shifted so completely, how you carried so much elegance through so much pain. Let them wonder. Let them watch. Because every miracle they witness in your life is not for show. It's a sign. A sign that the divine still moves. A sign that purpose always wins. A sign that even angels envy the sacred beauty of a soul who chose to rise in silence, shine in secret, and now walk in destiny with thunder beneath their feet. You never needed to prove your divinity. It was never about announcements, declarations, or loud affirmations. What's real doesn't scream, it radiates. And you, chosen one, have been radiating truth all along. Even in your darkest seasons, your light flickered. Even in your silence, your energy echoed. People may not have had the words for it, but they felt it. That vibration, that power, that presence. You are the unspoken force in every room you walk into. And now, you're learning how to command it. There is something holy about your quiet rise. You never begged for stages. You never asked for applause. You didn't climb by stepping on others. You climbed by stepping into yourself. And that's why angels watch you with reverence. You did not need to become someone else to be seen. You simply remembered who you are. And that remembrance is now unstoppable. Every day you wake up, you are walking further away from your old self and closer to the realm where destiny finally meets readiness. You are not who you used to be. And that's the miracle. Not that you gained more, but that you released what was never truly yours. You emptied yourself of illusions, attachments, and identities that were placed on you by a world too afraid of your truth. You sacrificed familiarity for alignment, comfort for clarity. And in that sacrifice, you were refined, not punished, prepared. The process did not break you, it birthed you. And the version of you now emerging, it's everything you were always meant to be. The energy around you knows it. The world might still be catching up, but the heavens already shifted. Portals are open. Timing is aligning. The winds are turning. You're not waiting anymore. You're arriving. You're stepping into divine intersections that were set in motion generations ago. You are the result of answered prayers you never heard, battles you never saw, and promises made before your first breath. You were not just born, you were sent. That's why your life never made sense to those around you. You weren't born to repeat patterns. You were born to break them. Your path was not meant to mirror anyone else's. You came to rewrite blueprints, to restructure legacies, to reroute timelines. That's why you never quite fit in. Because you were never supposed to. The world tried to box you in, label you, silence you. But your spirit refused. Because your spirit remembered. It remembered its origin, its power, its mission. You've been surrounded by watchers your whole life, not just people, but energies, higher intelligences, angelic beings who have studied your steps in silence, not to control you, but to protect you. Because your life is not ordinary. Your journey is encoded with events that awaken others, challenge systems, and unlock destinies. Even when you didn't know what you were doing, your presence was doing the work. Your existence alone was a signal that the divine is still moving through human skin. Every time you were rejected, it was redirection. Every time you were misunderstood, it was a reminder. Not everyone has the range to interpret your frequency, and that's okay. You were never sent to be accepted by the crowd. You were sent to shift the crowd, to be the disruption, the anomaly, the sacred contradiction that breaks norms without even trying. You were not created to follow trends. You are here to set them, and not in style, but in spirit. That's why life has felt intense. Why emotions have run deeper for you. Why pain lingered longer. You are not built like others. Your soul absorbs more, sees more, feels more, because it carries more. You are the carrier of light codes, ancient truths, unseen wisdoms, and your very aura reflects what words cannot say. There is a weight to your walk, a vibration to your voice, a gravity to your presence. You shift things without effort, because it's not you doing the shifting. It's what moves through you. The more you embrace your role, the more you will notice things falling away, effortlessly, people who no longer align, situations that don't resonate, environments that once felt necessary now feel suffocating. That's not loss, that's refinement. The sacred is sculpting your surroundings to match your new frequency. And sometimes that looks like solitude, but don't confuse that solitude with loneliness. You're not alone. You're surrounded. You're just vibrating higher now. And those watching from above, the angelic realm, the divine intelligence, they are rejoicing. Not because you're becoming powerful, but because you're becoming aligned. Because you're stepping into the version of you they always saw. You're remembering your sacred assignment. You're no longer performing, you're embodying. And when embodiment begins, manifestation follows. Not because you're demanding it, but because you're finally ready for it. Chosen one, you don't need more validation. You are already stamped by the divine. The signs, the synchronicities, the dreams, they're not coincidence, they're confirmation. You are walking proof that even silence can shake worlds, that even wounds can carry wonder, that even those who look ordinary on the outside can be carrying extraordinary destinies. And yours, your destiny, is so unique, so encoded with divine impact, that even angels whisper your name in awe. They marvel not at what you have, but at what you are. You are the flame that refuses to die, the soul that refuses to be small, the echo of generations who couldn't, the answer to questions no one had the courage to ask. You are light wrapped in skin, thunder wrapped in stillness, truth walking on 2 feet. You are not becoming powerful, you are remembering you already were. This is your emergence. This is your confirmation. The world is about to see what the heavens always knew, that you, chosen one, are the miracle they never expected. And as your path unfolds, may every step be a reminder. You are sacred. You are sent. You are seen. And yes, even angels envy what you carry. You were never created for the background. You are the lightning before the thunder, the shift before the breakthrough. the soul whose timing is cosmic, whose design is divine, whose impact is beyond measurement. You are not a product of chance. You are a prophecy fulfilled. And now, at this very moment in time, the prophecy is no longer preparing. It is activating. Chosen one, what you carry cannot be copied. It cannot be taught, imitated, or transferred. It is encoded, embedded, intertwined in your essence, like breath in your lungs. There are parts of you not even you have discovered yet. And still, the world already feels your vibration. That's what makes you different. You don't chase energy, you are the energy. Your presence moves things, your silence speaks. Your walk alone makes noise in the unseen. You awaken what others have buried. Even when you tried to run from your power, it followed you. When you tried to blend in, it pulled you out. Because you weren't made to disappear, you were made to disrupt. The world cannot ignore what heaven has endorsed. And you, whether you realize it or not, have already been endorsed, not by men, but by the divine. You don't need credentials when your existence is your calling card. That's why so many things didn't work out for you. You weren't meant to take the common path. The rejections, the delays, the detours, they were divine protection from anything that could shrink you. You weren't being punished. You were being preserved. Because you're not here to merely survive the world, you're here to shift it. And you cannot shift what you still seek validation from. So the universe stripped you of everything that diluted your truth, until the only thing left standing was your essence. And that essence, that eternal flame inside of you, is finally rising. You may feel it as peace, as clarity, as boldness, as stillness. But it's real, and it's not just for you, it's through you. You are a vessel, a carrier, a mirror of divine intention. And everything you've been through, every heartbreak, betrayal, loss, and breakdown, was fuel. It didn't break your soul. It freed it. It peeled away what was borrowed and brought you home to what was always yours. There is a reason your story sounds different. Why your timing never matched others. Why your desires burned deeper. It's because your assignment required more. You needed to feel more, to carry more. You needed to walk through fire so you could carry light. You needed to sit in shadows so you could guide others into dawn. This isn't just spiritual poetry, it's spiritual reality, your reality. And those watching from above, the unseen guardians, the divine messengers, they see it. They see you stepping into what was written before time. They know what's about to be released through you. And they know the world has no idea what it's about to witness. Because when a chosen one awakens, reality rearranges itself. Paths part, time bends, nature responds, and everything you were once waiting for begins to wait for you. You are not chasing alignment anymore. You are alignment. You are not begging for love, approval, clarity, or breakthrough. You are becoming the space where those things dwell. Your soul is no longer waiting. It is leading. And now, the frequency of your being is attracting what no words could ever summon. Because this version of you, the true version, it was never after rewards. It was after remembrance. And now you remember. You remember what they tried to erase. You remember what the world tried to drown. You remember the fire that flickered under the weight of pain, but never went out. You remember the eyes that could see through the fog, the voice that carried truth even when it trembled, the heartbeat that kept going when every reason said stop. That's not ordinary. That's not human strength. That's divine code in motion.